Games coming to the new PlayStation Plus subscription have been announced. There are multiple Silent Hill projects in the works, and an Xbox ambassador is under attack. So the launch of the new PlayStation Plus tiers are coming this June, just a couple of weeks away. And up until now, we didn't really know the games that were coming into the service, but PlayStation put out a post yesterday morning giving us a breakdown of everything that is going to be available across every tier, the games that are coming, the additions that we didn't know about until now. So let's go over it. So firstly, as we know, there are 3 tiers to the PlayStation Plus subscription. There's PlayStation Plus Essential, which essentially just gives you everything that you already have now under PlayStation Plus, which are those free monthly games. And then if you pay a bit more, you get access to PlayStation Plus Extra, which gives you everything from PlayStation Plus Essential, but also gets you access to the PS4 and PS5 game catalog. And now we know which games will be coming from PlayStation Studios as well as from third-party partners. You can go down here through the list. As we know, there are no day one new first-party PlayStation games. It's all older games that are on this list. You have games from Bloodborne, Demon Souls, the God of War series, Spider-Man, Returnal, the Uncharted series. You have games like Until Dawn and Medieval. So pretty much all stuff that we've expected that we were going to see with the PlayStation Studios catalog. Nothing new. It's a decent amount of games, especially if you haven't checked out any of these games before. There are lots of games in here that I haven't played before. So for me, this would be something that I would be interested in checking out and playing through some of the games. I mean, I've played most of the big first party PlayStation games, but there's still some ones like I never finished Uncharted 4, may go ahead and finish that one. But I believe some of these games are already available within the PlayStation Plus collection. So it's not really anything new, but there are some new games in here, and it is a decent list of PlayStation Studios games. Then you have the third-party partners, the third-party games that are going to be coming over, and you can see the list of games here. You have games from Assassin's Creed Valhalla, which we will talk about as to why that is there, down to NBA 2K22, Soul Calibur 6, Resident Evil, Red Dead Redemption 2, Guardians of the Galaxy, one that was really big when it came over to Game Pass. So there is definitely a okay selection of third-party games from this list. Now, when it comes to games like Assassin's Creed Valhalla, games like Far Cry 4, you can see the stars beside their names. This was also a big part of this announcement that Ubisoft Plus is coming over to PlayStation. And this is something that we know is also coming over to Xbox in the future. We just don't know the actual date yet. Ubisoft Plus being the Ubisoft subscription service where you sign up for it and you get access to hundreds of titles and additional content and all that type of stuff from Ubisoft. And it says here that ultimately will be available on PlayStation and Xbox in the future. So this is coming over to PlayStation, not a part of PlayStation Plus as the huge entire service of Ubisoft Plus. But what is coming to PlayStation Plus that will be a part of the service is the Ubisoft Plus Classics. Now, this is a brand new thing that they have announced, and this is going to be launching beginning May 24th. That will be a part of the Ubisoft Plus subscription. And with Ubisoft Plus Classics, it is a curated selection of popular games, including Assassin's Creed Valhalla, The Division, For Honor, as well as many other classic games. And right now with the PlayStation Plus launch, there are going to be 27 titles included within the premium or extra service, and they will grow those to 50 by the end of 2022. And you can see here the classic games that are included. I would say the biggest one of them all with this list, if you are looking at this list and you want to see what Ubisoft ones are available, is Assassin's Creed Valhalla. That's the newest one. It's an incredible game. I absolutely loved it. I've put over 100 and some hours into Assassin's Creed Valhalla, so that's great to see. And that's one that never made its way onto Xbox Game Pass, but hey, it could potentially in the future. But other than that, I think Ubisoft has actually a great catalog of games. So for me, bringing Ubisoft over to subscription service is always a positive. I love to see more of their games making their way in. We know Ubisoft Plus, like I said, is coming over to Xbox and PlayStation just as its own service. So if that's something you will want to subscribe to, you will be able to get access to it on the console as well. Now, what is interesting about this is that the fact that they had already announced Ubisoft Plus coming over to Xbox. Now they're announcing it for PlayStation. So honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if we saw this Ubisoft Plus Classics collection also make its way onto Xbox, and maybe something that is an announcement at the June 12th event, or maybe in the next week or so they announce that it is coming over. If it doesn't, you're still going to be able to access it on PlayStation if that's something you want to sign up for. Now, where things get interesting, and this was the part of the service that I was the most excited for, I really wanted to see what they were going to be bringing over, is with the classic games catalog that will only be available if you sign up to the highest tier with the PlayStation Plus Premium. So we see here the PlayStation Studios game. You have Ape Escape, Hot Shots Golf, IQ Intelligent Cube, Jumping Flash, Siphon Filter, Superstar, Dust Portable. You have some third-party games from Tekken to Worms. And then you also have some more remasters from more Ape Escape games down to the Jak and Daxter games, which I actually think are great games. So happy to see those. And then as well as these extra third-party partner games, BioShock and the Lego games and Bulletstorm. And then you have the original PlayStation 3 games that are only going to be available via streaming. And again, this is only available with the PlayStation Plus Premium subscription level, and you can go down here and see all of the games. There are definitely some great games in here, but the list itself, I would say, is rather sparse for the classic games, which leads me to believe that the PlayStation Plus Extra level will be the most utilized PlayStation Plus level out of these three. It almost seems like it isn't really worth that extra money to get what is currently available right now with the classic catalog. And we'll see if this grows in the future. Now, at the end of the day, comparing this to Xbox Game Pass, I mean, I still don't think in any way this is a competitor in terms of the value that you're getting out of this subscription compared to Xbox Game Pass, especially with the first-party day-and-date games that Xbox is going to be releasing, have been releasing with Xbox Game Pass. So we'll see if they continue to add games. This obviously isn't the entire list, and we'll see what happens with the Ubisoft stuff. I mean, that I think was the biggest announcement out of this list so far, was just that the Ubisoft Classics partnership was coming over to PlayStation, and then there's also the ability to get access to Ubisoft Plus once it makes its way out onto console. But it definitely seems like there is a lot of confusion with the Ubisoft announcement, as I've seen a ton of people saying Ubisoft Plus is coming over to PlayStation Plus, which is not the case. The entirety of the service is not. It's only the Ubisoft Plus Classic. So just want to make that clear in case people are confused as to what will be available once this launches on May 24th. All right, jumping over here to a bunch of more information about Silent Hill. As we know, Silent Hill is a game people have been wanting to see come back for a very long time now. It's been locked under Konami. They haven't really been doing very much with all of their famous IP, Silent Hill being one of them. And people have been speculating that there are multiple projects in the works. If you remember, for a while now, people thought that Blue Box Games, that indie developer that seemingly has ran out of all of their money for making a new survival horror game, people thought that they were behind the Silent Hill game, or that it was even just Kojima posing as Blue Box Games. So we know that is not the case. And now we have some more information that there could be multiple Silent Hill projects in the works. So firstly, Nate the Hate and Jeff Grubb have mentioned that one of the titles that could be in development is a remake of the 2001 installment of Silent Hill 2. And the team that could be working on these games, or at least one of these games, one of these projects, could be Bloober. Now, we know Bloober from the Xbox side of things, as they were the ones that made The Medium, which was a day one Xbox Game Pass game, a timed Xbox console exclusive. I thought it was a great game. I played through it, and I think Bloober makes some great stuff, and there's a lot of potential from that developer. They say here that last year, the Polish developer announced a strategic cooperation agreement with Konami months after Bloober's CEO claimed it was working on an existing horror IP from a very famous gaming publisher. And Silent Hill's composer Akira Yamaoka has even worked on the Medium title back in 2021 and teased that the next project would be something that the one you've been hoping to hear about, which would essentially mean Silent Hill, because this is the title, this is the franchise that survival horror fans have been waiting to come back. They've been wanting to hear more about it. They want a new one, and it seemed like all hope was gone until all of these rumors that have been popping out about these multiple projects. Now, from these rumors, it seems like Bloober isn't the only developer that could be working on the Silent Hill IP, as, like I said, they're saying there are multiple projects in the works across multiple games and multiple developers. One of the other projects that they are talking about are the smaller episodic series of short stories. And they say here, sources have previously indicated that Until Dawn Studio Supermassive had once been involved in talks for this project, but we don't know if that they are going to be doing these episodic series for Silent Hill. It could have just been they were talking amongst all the other developers that are trying to get in on this project. We don't know which ones have been greenlit to go ahead and actually work on these projects, which also goes for the next studio or the next publisher that could be behind one of these games, and that is Annapurna Interactive. And Annapurna has been behind many games like Sayonara Wild Hearts, Outer Wilds, Telling Lies, and many other games that have come out on Xbox Game Pass. I always see Annapurna popping up, and it seems like they are a pretty awesome publisher for a lot of these indie games that are releasing. But again, we don't know if they are going to be involved in the Silent Hill series or if they were just a part of the talks. So you have the remake of Silent Hill 2, you have the episodic series, and then the last game that apparently is in the work is a brand new mainline entry into the Silent Hill series. And this is reportedly being worked on by a Japanese studio, and these all have to do with images that were leaked the other week that I think have been pulled off or deleted, at least from other sources that we've seen it. But here are some of the leaked images for the brand new mainline Silent Hill game. Now, these images specifically are apparently for like a thriller style trailer, similar to what we got with the PT trailer that they are going to be releasing at some point to get you hyped up for a new Silent Hill game. So lots of Silent Hill news now, lots of confirmation amongst some of the bigger journalists, some of the bigger insiders across the industry, and they've all come out and revealed what they know about Silent Hill. So there is a higher chance now that we are going to be hearing something about Silent Hill in the near future. All right, quickly jumping over here to an announcement that you could be excited for if you're a Fall Guys fan, and that is Fall Guys is officially going to be free to play, and it's finally coming over to Xbox as well as other platforms that it wasn't previously on, and this will all be on June 21st. As we know, Fall Guys was available on PC, was available on PlayStation 4. It was a huge hit, I think like last year, maybe 2 years ago when it first came out. I don't know. I haven't heard too much more about Fall Guys in a while, but season 1 is going to be free for everybody and available June 21st, and now finally going to be available on Xbox. So if you've been waiting for this game to come out to Xbox before trying it out, now you're going to be able to. All right, to end things off here, let's talk about this situation that is going on. I couldn't ignore it because it consistently just kept popping up on my Twitter feed. Everywhere people were talking about it, and I didn't really understand what it was all about until I did a little bit more digging, and it has to do with this person here named Miss Deus Geek, who is an Xbox ambassador. Now, first of all, what is an Xbox ambassador? Because I think that is the main thing that has people arguing as to whether this person should be an Xbox ambassador, if this program is any good or not. Is it a program where people just lie to get people to play games on Xbox? And what an Xbox ambassador, I guess, is this is from Xbox. They say here they're a worldwide network of gamers who celebrate the uniqueness of everyone, promote a safe gaming environment, and above all else, make gaming fun for everyone. What do Xbox ambassadors do? As an Xbox ambassador, you will have the opportunity to join playdates, participate in the Xbox Community Game Club, chat with like-minded gamers, participate in exclusive Xbox surveys, and interact with the community your way, all while unlocking XP for exclusive rewards. And I believe Microsoft as a company has this like XP thing for multiple products where you can unlock XP for other Microsoft products like Windows or Word, all that type of stuff, their Office series. I think that is something that they have. So this unlocking XP for exclusive rewards with Microsoft isn't anything that's exclusive to Xbox. And how do you become an Xbox ambassador? It's actually extremely easy. You really don't need to have very much experience with Xbox. You don't really need to even play that many games. It says right here what it takes to be an Xbox ambassador. Be 17 years of age or older, have a gamer score of 1500 or higher, which you could literally get in like one game, 1.5 games, and get it in no time. Have no enforcement actions on your Xbox Live account within the last year. Having the title Xbox Ambassador is certainly a distinguishing mark, but the impact you get to have on the Xbox community is really what it's all about. So after reading this, my takeaway as to what Xbox ambassadors do, who they are, what their point is, it isn't to play a ton of video games, be a hardcore gamer. It's literally just to be a positive influence on the Xbox community and make sure that people have somebody to talk to if they have questions about certain Xbox things. They go to the community chats, all that type of stuff, and just do their best to be positive. So she has been getting attacked here because people are looking at her gamer score, things that she said on playing games such as Forza Horizon 5, only played like 2 hours of it. There was a video going around of her talking about how she played Quake when it came out onto Game Pass for a couple of hours, but they looked at her profile and she had only played for 30 minutes. And all of this stuff has caused a debate, has caused people going after her for being an Xbox ambassador, laughing at her, making fun of her, and pretty much calling into question what the Xbox ambassador program is, where basically anyone can join it in order to promote Xbox if they have those 3 simple requirements. And here is her response to all of this. Reminder, I don't have to be a hardcore gamer to be part of the Xbox community. You can be part of the Xbox family in many ways, like supporting others as a friend, answering forum questions, fighting for representation, etc. I don't get a chance to play a lot of games because I work full-time, run 3 communities, host events for the local Xbox family out of my own pocket, work with organizations to encourage diversity. I also buy most of my collectibles, whether Xbox related or not. A high gamer score isn't a requirement to be an ambassador, nor does it mean I don't get games. I don't play much, but I watch my partner who's clocked hundreds of hours on his Xbox. That's how I got involved in games. Finally, I've never said I love Xbox because of their games. I've always loved Xbox because of what they do with gaming for everyone, their custom controller designs, and the number one reason, the community. Though after this, I might have to rethink the wide definition of community. To clarify, Xbox to me is not just a gaming publisher. They're an organization that cultivates accessibility, creativity, and diversity. Anyone can appreciate that. You can also enjoy games regardless of how often / how good you play. Those who don't drive Formula 1 cars / race enjoy F1, right? So there you have it. I mean, she is an Xbox ambassador, and based off of the definition of what an Xbox ambassador is and how you become an Xbox ambassador, I don't see any problem whatsoever as to her being an ambassador. And all of the hate and harassment that has come her way is kind of ridiculous because everyone just looks at gamer score. They look at how many hours people have played, and the fact that you don't have to be a hardcore gamer to be a part of this program, it makes complete sense why she is one. I think where people are getting annoyed and upset about is you have people that probably have 500,000, 1 million gamer score that aren't ambassadors, that want to be a part of this program and haven't been able to get in for some reason or another, and believe that they represent Xbox as the community more so than somebody like her. And hey, maybe that is the case. I mean, I look at myself, I play a ton of video games. My gamer score on my current profile right now on Xbox is only at like 57,000, which hey, isn't that terrible. But not somebody who has like 1 million gamer score, but I play a ton of video games. I don't always go in achievement hunt. I play games across multiple platforms. You can play games for hours as well and get barely any achievements. So the gamer score itself is definitely not the only thing people should look at when they want to determine who is a hardcore gamer or not. But there are a lot of different takes out there on this. You have Kits Move saying, good morning. For those who don't know what an Xbox ambassador is, see below. Stop harassing people because you have a false understanding of what an Xbox ambassador is supposed to be. And I mean, that's a great point because people look at it in their own mind. They say, this is what it is. And she's not that. So we have to get on her for that, which is ridiculous because if you're taking the definition of what an Xbox ambassador is, she fits in exactly to what they are looking for. Xbox ambassador BG, an Xbox ambassador admitting she doesn't even play games. This is insane. Literally just posing and pretending to be part of gaming. See why people check credentials and gatekeep. And with that point, that's a point a lot of people are making. And I don't think the issue is her. I think the issue is the Xbox Ambassador program. If most people want the Xbox Ambassador program to be hardcore gamers that have a huge gamer score, that literally show off every single time they 100% a game and stuff like that, if the majority of the community want that, then the program needs to be changed because, like I said, she fits into exactly what the Xbox Ambassador program is looking for. The Xbox Ambassador program is probably one of the worst things Xbox has done. They have created a legion of people that will defend the brand at all costs when change is needed, or they will get booted out. Therefore, change will never happen. Reminds me of Church of Scientologists. Which, okay, this take here, it's like, have you ever seen ambassadors? Have you ever seen influencers for literally any product out there? You could say this about anything. You could say this about any product where there's an influencer that are in a program to promote their products. They're identifying that they're in their program. They're not hiding this from you. It's not like she's coming out here and saying all of the things she's saying about Xbox and not telling you that she's an Xbox ambassador. People out here exposing themselves by going ham on people who don't even deserve it. Xbox ambassador does not stand for hardcore gamer. And that's, I guess, the gist of it all. It's ridiculous. People will love to hate on something And they're not even hating on the right thing. They're not even hating on the proper definition of what they think the Xbox ambassador should be. But that's it for me, guys. Let me know your thoughts on all of this stuff. What do you think about the PlayStation Plus games? Do you think it's competitive to Xbox Game Pass? Do you think it's not very good? If you're going to sign up, which tier do you want to sign up for? Silent Hill, are you excited for these multiple projects? Are you going to be playing Fall Guys? And what are your thoughts on the Xbox Ambassador program? If you enjoyed this video, hit that thumbs up button. If you're new here, you liked what you saw, consider hitting that subscribe button. Thank you all for watching. Thank you for your support, and I'll catch you in the next video. We'll be right back.